Hiyo, and welcome back to Imagine Your Odyssey. I'd like to take you through a 3-video series talking about buying campers, or buying an RV, or buying your rig. The first of the 3 will be talking about a buying guide, the things to think about before you start going out and doing your looking. The second one will be talking about if you want to make a purchase of a used RV, then things that you need to look for and pay attention to. And then the third, we'll be talking about those last minute things to think about right before you make your purchase to make sure you're getting what you want. So before we get started, hang in there and I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. We're going to talk about a buying guide to things to think about before you buy your RV. Whether it's your first one or it's the next one, things that you need to think about before you start going out there and doing your looking. Now the first on the list is going to be what type of camping do you want to do. If you want to go long term or short term, up north, down south, what kind of camping do you want to do? This is going to play a lot in deciding what kind of camper you want. Do you want a pop-up, or do you want a full drivable RV? Do you want a towable, like a travel trailer or fifth wheel? You're going to have large family, small family, those kind of things. Those kind of things of what kind of camping you want to do will play in a lot on what kind of decisions you need to make on your next rig. Number 2, where do you want to camp? Now, do you want to go to the beach? Do you want to go down south? Do you want to go up north where it's cold? Are you going to be going to resorts where you're going to have full hookups all the time? Or do you want to go camping in places that doesn't have any of those amenities? Those are going to be very critical to know what kind of rig that you want to buy and what kind of systems it may have built in. Number 3, are you going to travel consistently, or do you plan on buying your rig, setting it up, and just leaving it there in one place all the time? Now, if you're going to be someone who wants to buy your rig and set it up and leave it there full time, well, you may not want to purchase that $100,000 rig that's going to be able to go all over kinds of places. You may want to buy something a little less expensive that you can set up, you can border up, insulate yourself, and just leave it there. Now, if you're going to be someone who wants to move and stay on the road a lot, that's going to play in what kind of amenities that you may need while you're out and about. Also, the things to think about is, are you going to be a full-timer? If you're going to buy something you're going to live in full-time, you're going to want to buy something that's a little more full-time ready so that it can last through all the miles that you're going to put it through. So there's a lot of critical things that you need to think about before you make your purchase along those lines. Number 4, are you going to have family and pets? So are you a couple who's got children? You may want to have a bunkhouse so that they have somewhere to sleep and they can seclude themselves from everything around them, kind of like my teenagers like to do. Now, if you're somebody who has pets and children and everything like that, then you may want to have enough room in there so that you can put crates for your dogs while you're gone, and like I said before, bunk beds for your children. Now, if you're an older couple who has grandchildren and they're only going to visit every now and then, you may not want the bunk beds. You may want plenty of sleeping space, like fold-out couches and stuff like that for them when they do visit, but you don't need it all the time. On to number 5. Is my towed vehicle big enough? Now, your towed vehicle being big enough is a very important safety key item to how you're going to tow your rig. If you're going to have a travel trailer or a fifth wheel, you want to make sure that it's rated to be able to pull that, and not only pull it, but to be able to stop it as well and to keep yourself safe. Another one is if you're going to have a drivable RV, like a motorhome or something like that, you want to make sure that if you're going to tow a vehicle behind it, like a little small car or a Jeep or something like that, then you want to make sure that it's rated to be able to tow that as well. Number 6, is it in my budget? Now, it's good to make sure that you line out your budget on what you can afford to pay per month to be able to buy this rig. Now, with that being said, the reason I bring that up to light is that you want to make sure that your budget can not only afford that, but also be able to afford to be able to go out and have fun and do things with the rig. The last thing you want to do is have your budget so tight that you're limited to being able to go out and travel and have your adventures, and that your RV or your rig is up staying in the yard all the time. Number 7, who's going to be doing all the driving? Now, some people just have one primary driver in their family that knows the in and outs and the feel of towing that rig. It knows the weight, it knows how it turns, and all that stuff. If there's going to be more than one driver, then you may want to make sure that you get equal amount of drive time so that you don't lose what that feel feels like. Not only that, it's good to have good, clear communication that if you're going to have two drivers, both of them know how to talk to each other. Especially if you're going to be going on long trips, and that one's going to drive and then stop, take a rest while the other one's driving. That way you can make longer trips in shorter amount of times. It's good to keep that good, open, clear communication on who's going to drive and at what points. In what kind of situations is one more comfortable at driving in than the other. It's good to know those things and have those plans all put together before you even make your drive. Number 8. It is very, very important to make sure that you list out your top 3 things that you want out of your camper or your RV or whatever it is that you're going to purchase. If having a full out bathroom or a really, really nice kitchen or something that can open up to a large space, if you have kids, if you have animals that you need to tend to, if you plan on going full time, whatever those things are, list out your top 3 things. That'll help you get started on understanding how to limit what you do want and what you don't want, and to be able to make your purchases, or at least going out and looking for what you want, a lot simpler. Number 9, are you planning on financing? If you do plan on financing to buy your new RV, go out there and kind of get pre-approved for what those limits are. That way you kind of know already what kind of limits and price ranges that you're looking for. Now when you go out to dealers and stuff like that, if you already know kind of where you want to be in your money range, you can sometimes work out something with them so that you can work out that price range and get that price point where you want within your budget, like we talked about before, and still feel comfortable that when you go in there that you already kind of have a pre-approval and know what you're going to be financing. Number 10, how long do you plan on RVing? Is this something that you plan on doing on the weekends? Do you plan on doing full time? Do you plan on having for years on end but only plan on doing it on weekends? Or do you only plan on having it while your kids are little, and then once they get grown you plan on selling it off and never doing it again? These are important key items to what kind of rig you want to buy and how long you plan on having it to how long it may last. Now last but not least, go to an RV Expo. RV Expos usually have a large array of different types of RVs out there that you can go and look at. They'll have Class A's, Class C's, they'll have the campers that you can put on a truck, they'll have travel trailers, they'll have fifth wheels, they have all kinds out there that you can go look at and walk in and walk out of. Now the only downside to an RV Expo is that there are a lot of people there. So if you're going to go up and you're going to really want to see this special rig that you really like the outside and you want to see what the inside looks like, well, there's a good chance that there may be 3 or 4 other families in there looking at it and doing the same thing. Another good idea is to go to an RV dealership that is a very, very large dealership. We've gone to a few of them when we first made our purchase, and we went out and looked around. We asked the dealer and said, hey, if we could just walk around and see what we want without any of the pressure of having some kind of salesman or something like that with you, then most of the time they'll let you do that. We went out and we got to see a lot of different styles that we liked, and we ended up picking one of them. Now I warn you against that. If you're going to go and make a purchase, or if you're going with a plan of making a purchase, be careful, because there's a lot of things out there that they put out there and set up so that it looks pretty to you and it attracts your eyes so that you make a buy right then. If you can go to one of those places with in mind that you're not going to make a purchase that day, but to get information based off of things that you want to do or want to see or that you want out of your rig and take that home with you and discuss it, that is a much, much better plan. You can go and look, see what you like, come home, discuss about it, and go back and make a better purchase based off of what you decided. Now I know this is a really short list, 1 through 11, and different things that we've gone through or thought about as we were getting ready to make our first purchase. And these are not all exclusive, and there may be other things out there that you're thinking about that you'd like to do before making your first purchase. And whatever those things are, please list those things down in the comments below so that others can see as well. Now as you start getting your thoughts together to make your first purchase or to buy in your next RV or your next rig, have fun with it. This is supposed to be something that you want to do and you want to go out and have fun with. So make sure you make this part of it fun as well. If you have any stories based off of what you did with your first purchase, share those in the comments below as well. And don't forget to click on the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up for a like as well. And until the next time, Ayo, happy hunting, and God bless.